Welcome back to Chasing Whiskey.
I'm James.
I'm Terry, and we've got a couple glasses, and we're still on our tour of Scotland. We're still in Speyside.
We are still in Speyside.
And there's lots to see in Speyside, but we're going to stick it to just 2 bottles. Speaking of bottles, what'd you bring today, James?
We have a treat this week. It is Macallan.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
What do you think of the box?
Great presentation.
It's tall.
It's gonna be a tall bottle. I like the blue.
Yeah, the blue's nice. I'm a sucker for blue.
Blue and gold all over it. Kind of glistens on the side with the pattern.
Yeah, it does.
Very nice presentation.
And it says it's the Macallan Gold, so it is actually a gold. Must have a 12 and a gold. I don't know. Anyway.
And I am always big on it's a very sturdy box.
Should we get into it?
Yes.
All right. I think I did it last time, so it should be you, but you know what? I'm not patient enough today. Here we go.
Oh, that's a pretty bottle.
That is beautiful.
That has a very interesting. I love how the bottles are always so different.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Love the.
Oh yeah.
It's got sort of a. I don't know what you would call it, an embossed.
Well, it's even just a shape. Yeah, just a shape. Very nice.
Love that color.
Yeah. No, it's dark gold. Gold is what they said. It is gold. And look at the rim around the top. It's got instead of the pull tab, it's got a little seal. Interesting, eh? What do you say? Oh, okay. I'll do the honors then.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice. There we go.
Right. I gotta say, so far what?
Oh, that's nice. Feels nice in the hand. It's not consistent. It's wider on one side than the other, right? So it's
so we started in the Highlands. We're in Speyside.
Yep.
What do you like so far? Hard to pick.
I like whiskey. Yeah. Look at that. Now it's got a bit of a gap. Now that I've opened it once. Isn't that interesting? See that?
Was that holding it up?
I don't know. It's cool though.
Yep. Very nice. Oh, I can smell it. Let's see. Pure gold.
There's the color in the glass. It's definitely a gold. And
that's golden
clear.
Apples right there.
Apples, huh?
Yeah.
Did you read that?
Nope.
Try not to read.
It's very clean apples.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's because you said it or because I could actually smell it. Dang. What do you think?
I could just sit here and smell it. All right. Let's
cheers.
See if we can't pull something out.
Ooh. It's different. Wow, the sweetness comes right before you swallow it. Do you feel that? It's sharp early and then sweet. And usually it's sweet then. That's very different.
I'm impressed. Your description is getting more. I understand what you mean. I have no idea if we're describing it correctly.
No, but
we're developing our own
vocabulary, and we should learn more. But usually when we have a sip, if it's a complex, harsh at the end or get a bit of a bite to it, it's at the end. It's at the beginning with the Macallan, and then there's a sweetness right before you swallow.
You're right.
It's very different. It's a completely different experience.
And it's very clean tasting.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, the sweetness is, it's almost an aftertaste, but it's right there before you're done swallowing. Isn't that weird? It's delicious. Very different.
It's fantastic.
Very different.
Now, it's interesting about Macallan. They actually take their water, not from the rivers, but from the groundwater.
So we're in Speyside,
Yes.
fastest running river in Scotland,
River
and they're
Spey.
not using it.
That's right. They have a very deep well that they get their water from.
Very cool.
What do I know about Macallan? It's one of the largest. They've got a capacity of 15 million liters
That's
per
huge.
year.
Yeah.
I think they usually run at about 12
Okay.
million. And apparently they've got over 300,000 barrels in their warehouses. Now it's actually, they use sherry barrels, which apparently are quite large.
Okay.
So
that would be a lot then.
It's like the equivalent of 600,000
Wow.
normal barrels. So it is a very large distillery.
You asked me last week to do the tour and to
A little
learn
more
what
about
it's taught.
Speyside.
So
Tell
is
us
Macallan? Well, is Macallan the one? I'm pretty sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the one that looks like it's like rolling into the grass?
Yes.
Just incredible architecture, right? Like it
Yes.
looks like it's part of the hillside, but it's actually a building that has, I guess, the
Underneath
grass
the
on the
hills.
roof. Yeah. Just absolutely stunning. I'm super impressed with their facility. It looks like they're very environmentally friendly. At least it looks that way. I don't know if they are. So I did a little bit of research on what we would do if we were going to go on a tour, and there's thousands of things you could do. There's 1,000, I shouldn't say 1,000. There's a large number of tour operators, things like that. But there's a thing called the Whisky Trail, which is like a 3-day sort of drive kind of thing.
That's what we want.
We want a 3-day drive, and it's close to Edinburgh. So you could stay there, fly into there, whatever, stay there, and then take the Whisky Trail. I would propose that we find someone to drive us.
Yes.
Because you get to go to 7 working distilleries.
In 3 days.
In 3 days.
That's a lot of,
Well, it's just a sample, right? But I mean, you'd want to sample, and then maybe in the evening you'd want to have a nice dinner, and you want to...
Drinks? If we shared the driving responsibilities? I don't
No.
know.
I'm going to enjoy myself. So I think the best thing to do would be to hire a car, hire a driver and car. And maybe, if it's just the 2 of us, it'd be a little pricey. But if you got like a group of people together, you can save some money and hire a driver to take you on the 3 days. So 7 working distilleries.
That's the fastest gram I've ever had.
Boy,
That is...
I got to catch up.
This is the first whiskey I would describe as refreshing. It's refreshing. It's
It's because it
clean.
ends on a sweetness instead of ending on a bit of a harshness, but it still has that harshness you like.
I don't know.
It's very nice. Yeah. So seven working distilleries. 1 historic distillery is no longer operational.
And this is one.
This is there, yeah.
Yes.
And so and you get to go see a cooperage. So cooperage is where they restore barrels, put the barrels back together, get them ready for whiskey. So they'll take ex bourbon casks, sherry casks, whatever, and get them ready for the whiskey.
And what can you have as a souvenir?
You can actually get a little. You knew this. You can get a little barrel for yourself to take home.
Want a little barrel.
And on the Whisky Trail, there's a walking trail called Smuggler's Trail. It leads from the Glenlivet distillery, and it's where smugglers used to run some of their
What's
whiskey.
interesting that this whole industry was illicit.
Oh yeah, completely. And it started illicit, and then it became legal. But
Because
the
it was-
illicit versions were still being run until the tax man cometh.
Which is how this became legit. Was
The tax man?
came and they scrambled to get their paper in order and became
Just so they didn't get hit.
And the other distillers didn't like that, so they had to carry pistols.
When they walked around town, you mean?
Well, around there to protect themselves, I guess, because
Yeah, the tax man made whiskey legit. I guess the thing is they couldn't stop the illegal production anymore, so why not make it a legal production to collect revenue, right? So so the Smuggler's Trail is a nice little walking trail. I think it'll be a nice 3-day tour. So you basically see a bunch of distilleries, you learn a bit, and every one of them have a tour, and some of them are light tours, but some of them are very detailed. You can actually have one of them where you actually go to a master class in the tour. And so that would probably be early in the day one. And in one of them, I forget which distillery it is, you can actually bottle your own.
that would be cool.
Right. And so then you get a souvenir that's not only, a bottle that you bought, but a bottle you actually helped put into the bottle, right? So that would be pretty cool. And there's castles on the tour. The Balvenie Castle is on the tour as well. I think it would be actually excellent. And I think 3 days, 3 days isn't nearly long enough, but it's probably long enough to do just whiskey 3 days in a row,
Absolutely.
and then maybe a few more days
And
to
I
see.
think we should bring our cameras with us.
Oh, yep.
So we can report right on the ground of these wonderful, wonderful distilleries.
And show people us drinking. Speaking of that.
I had to wait. That was a long wait for me.
You're not used to that.
The aftertaste is like it's apple.
It's sweet apple. Like,
That is a nice pour.
yeah. Not a candy apple, but like a sweet.
It's like a golden
sweet
apple.
Yeah, but it has a more of a sweetness to it than even an apple.
Pouring a little bigger drams here because this is spectacular.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Should we put some water in, see if it
Yeah,
changes anything?
let's
do that. I don't know if I want to change it, but
I can't believe how
one,
good this is.
2, 3.
And I've liked every bottle we've had out of.
You know, I can't say I loved them all, but I liked all of them. There was only one we've had so far where I was like, it's not me, but I can appreciate it. Everything else has been great, and the fact that they're all so different, you know.
Yeah, this is interesting because I remember when we started the Scotland tour, we started with Old Pulteney, and I loved it so much. I was like, this is contender. This is gonna be my favorite. This,
That's what you say every time.
yes.
Any new smells now that we've put some water in? I don't know if it's changed that at all. Do you
It's
think?
still spectacular.
I know, but can you smell anything different? I don't think it's.
I feel like the water may have helped just mellow everything.
Okay. Cheers. Give it a sip. Oh, I can taste more apple, but it's like a crisper apple now.
Oh, it's so crisp and clean and refreshing.
Do you taste like it's more like a green apple almost? Do you taste that? Like a crispy apple as opposed to a sweet apple.
I picture those gold apples.
Wow. No, that's good. Very good. So should we read and see if there's any tasting notes?
That is just a treat. And you're right. There's no changes in the profile. It's not overly sweet. It's just refreshing.
And it's at the end. It's not at the beginning at all. So let's see here. So it does say on the front. Well, you must have read this. Vanilla, apple, and cinnamon. But
I didn't get the cinnamon.
No.
Did you get the cinnamon?
no. But I said there's a heat, but the heat's early.
Well,
It's a little bit of a bite, but it's early. It's not
maybe
at the
that's
end.
what the cinnamon is.
Maybe. So there are some great notes on the back of the box. Excellent notes.
Now this is interesting.
What's that?
I love apple desserts, apple pie, crumbles. My wife doesn't. So I wonder if that would, like, I love those things. This could be my whiskey for me, right?
Does she tend to drink your whiskey?
No.
What's the problem then?
But she doesn't like apple desserts.
Okay.
So am I saying that this is spectacular and someone else would be like, eh.
Oh, I see what you mean. It could be that your love of apples is making you love this more.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same with anything, though, right? I mean,
But also of interest, like, I may never have found this, and it's one of my favorites.
I know. The fact that we're doing a new one every week lets us learn what we like, take note of what we like, and I think it's great. And the documentation, we're keeping track of everything, writing it down. I think it's excellent. All right, let's read the notes. There was a lot of notes in the back here.
Okay.
It's excellent. And I got something to say about the box, too, in a minute. So the color is burnished gold, which we called it gold, but it's a burnished gold, whatever burnished means, but I guess a dark burnt gold. Aroma, it says lemon citrus, orange peel with an interlacing sweetness of vanilla and dark chocolate. I don't smell any of that.
I don't have the chocolate, but everything else there. Now that you say it, I'd be like, sure, it's all in there.
Yeah. On the palate, it says citrus and boiled sweets, with hints of ginger and cinnamon giving way to toasted apples. So we definitely said it gives way to the sweetness.
Yep.
That's the toasted apple, right?
How do they do that?
I don't know. Like the fact that it was a little bit hard. Remember, I said it's a little bitey and then sweet.
And
it
I love
says
the
cinnamon giving way to toasted apples. And ginger. Ginger and cinnamon are both a bit harsh.
And I love the bitter bite. Like
Yeah.
the Aaron ends with that.
Right.
I love it. This starts
Begins with it, yeah. Finish, medium sweet, malty, and slightly dry. So this is a dry. And we're trying to determine if something's dry or not.
Dry is.
Yeah,
Well, that's pretty wet to me.
The
But
box.
it's interesting when you offer someone a whiskey, it's like, do you want the bite At the end or at the beginning?
Yeah. So the texture on this box, it's really hard to see in the camera. James, show the watch close up. It's almost like the same texture as the inside of your watch. Look at this.
Yeah, it is. It's got that, I forget what they call it. It's like it's got like a hemp
And remember,
triangles.
I keep saying don't send me the blue one. James sent me the blue one.
And you like the blue box.
Oh, I like the blue box. I like the...
It's a good looking box.
Anyway, I may have to bite the bullet eventually. Yeah. Anyway, I do love that watch. So...
Nice shirt too.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Well,
I think this is very enjoyable. Let's ask the question.
I bought this bottle. You don't know what it costs.
No
Would
idea.
you buy this again?
I'm gonna assume it's under 100 because
I am
gonna assume that. So yes, I would absolutely buy this again. And I don't think it would matter. I think I would go to $99.99 on this one. I would pay our current artificial ceiling. Please tell me it was under 100.
Well, this one's interesting. This was $80.
Okay, so it's the most expensive thing we've bought so far.
Most expensive thing we've bought so far. Macallan has several examples at the store, and this was the most least expensive.
Okay.
So there's actually an opportunity to go over the 100 mark to about, I think they had one that was like 120 or...
Okay.
So
that's what we have at our little stores.
$40 more.
Right.
What would $40 more? Because this is
Time,
so,
you're buying time, man.
so
That's all you're
good.
buying.
Is it? Or now that we've gotten a little experience,
You know what?
we have to come back to Speyside when we're done.
How many $50 to $80 bottles could we enjoy before we even have to cross the $100?
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean,
So
and
we've been
most-
surprised almost every time.
Most of my favorites are the 70s, except for Bushmills.
Bushmills was a surprise. It was very good.
But this, it is just a brilliant addition. In fact, well, we get to pour one more here. I was going to add it to the collection.
It's funny, you drank the first one fast. I drank the second one fast. What do you think? I know. It's really good. So obviously you would buy it again, obviously.
I might buy two. That is really
Yeah.
good.
All
I
right.
cannot wait to actually visit that location.
So that ends our Speyside tour.
Where to now?
Yeah, so that's the question. So the lowlands, we can go to the lowlands or we can go to Islay or the islands. We can't find anything locally from Campbellton, so they're out. So where do you want to go next? Should we go to the lowlands? Stay on the mainland?
Sure.
Okay, so next week we'll start our lowlands. Not a lot that we can get locally from the lowlands, but there's a few. So we will have. There's more than two, so we're okay that way.
It'd be interesting to see if we, after this, if there's, and again, we're only picking a sample, but
Well, I know, and that's the problem, right? Like you could do.
but Speyside certainly. I mean, we could spend a whole section of the
We can do an entire year of
channel.
Speyside
on Speyside.
and not touch a second bottle from a single distillery.
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
that'd be
And it's
fun.
such a small geographical area. So, I don't know. Stay tuned for year 5 when we do that. Anyway, what do you think?
I think we should enjoy this third dram, and cheers for
Cheers.
another good week.
Yeah, like, subscribe.
Mash
Follow
that
along.
button, smash the button.
Yeah. See ya.